question is to the Minister for Indigenous Affairs, representing the Minister for Resources and Northern Australia, Senator Scullion. Can the Minister update the Senate on the progress of the White Paper on developing Northern Australia?
The order on my left. Order. The Minister for Indigenous Affairs, representing the Minister for Northern Australia, Senator Scullion.
Thank you very much, Mr President. I'd like to acknowledge Senator O'Sullivan's continual commitment to North Australia. Mr President, our government has implemented 31 out of the 51 North Australian White Paper recommendations, and the remainder are well underway. The $500 million National Water Infrastructure Fund, out of that $40.5 million has actually been allocated to 16 programs that are currently being assessed. We have the $5 billion NAIF funds, which is going to be able to provide funds and a real injection into the economy by partnering the private sector with the various state governments and the Commonwealth to ensure that we provide concessional loads to major projects. Now, in that NAIF pipeline, it is going very well, Mr President. There are 57 active inquiries, 5 are actually up to the due diligence stage, and they are 16 as part of the assessment stage. We know that infrastructure is absolutely essential to deliver outcomes. We've got the best prices we've ever had in the cattle industry. We're just recovering from the political decisions of those opposite. We're going really good markets, but you actually need to connect opportunity with market. And the opportunities, of course, we need to connect, Mr President, are roads. That's what we have to build. We've got $700 million in roads, 300 million to Queensland and the other 200 to each to the Northern Territory Government and to West Australia. This is just an absolutely fantastic investment. And can I say, Mr President, of course, the real legacy is buying local, ensuring that the legacy from this is ensuring we have indeed local Indigenous people actually getting trained to ensure that they can build the roads of the future. That's our commitment to the future and our commitment to the North.
Thank you, Minister. Order on my left. Order. Senator Cameron. Senator O'Sullivan.
Thank you, Minister.
Supplementary question.
I'm committed to the development of all of Queensland. So, Minister, what other ways is the Turnbull Joyce Government driving the development of the North? Minister.
Thanks very much, Mr President. Just last week I was with the Deputy Prime Minister Barnaby Joyce at the inaugural Ministerial Forum of Northern Development. It was attended by state, federal and territory representatives. Can I say they focused, very exciting meeting, they focused on the beef, the aquaculture sector, horticulture, all those opportunities that the North provide. But importantly, from my portfolio, Indigenous leaders actually had a seat at the table for the first time with their ministerial colleagues. And this partnership is going to provide really serious outcomes, not only for Indigenous Australians and the say that they have in this country, but particularly from the North. And as Peter Hughes says, this is a historic day. Never before has there been such an engagement at such a senior level on the matter of national importance. And so our government will continue to engage and deliver for Northern Australia.
Thank you, Minister. Senator O'Sullivan, final supplementary question.
President. Thank you, Minister, for those answers. Could the Minister outline the positive ways that this investment is already delivering practical results in Northern Australia? Minister.
Thank you for that question. Again, I was last week with Minister Joyce, the Deputy Prime Minister, on the Tiwi Islands, and I was just delighted to see, in fact, actually have a report from Mr Rioli, one of the rangers there, that he'd actually found a mango hopper. And he was again delighted to tell me the news that we're building a new biosecurity laboratory in Darwin. So when he finds these new creatures that are a threat to the North, instead of having to go all the way down south, the level of amenity provided by this laboratory will be able to identify particularly this pest, but also pathogens and diseases that are going to threaten the North. Again, our investment in the ranger groups, a huge amount of funds, but most importantly 2,500 individuals, many of those are across the North, looking after the biosecurity of Australia and assuring that we
Thank
can
you, Minister.
protect the
The
North.
time for answering the question has expired.